it's easier to open up to a stranger. Like, people will tell you, oh no, I'm not gonna tell my business to a stranger. Honey, it's easier to talk to a stranger. Trust me. Like I'm saying, I'm telling this to you guys. I don't know y'all. How you doing, guys? Today is a completely different video altogether. Like, welcome to my channel. Hi, how are you doing? I hope you guys are well during this time. Yeah, I hope the lockdown has been kind to you and your families, and it's all love and prayers. And yeah, so this video is very different from every video I've done so far. It's a very personal, I know my labor and delivery story is personal too, but this is a different kind of personal, and I just wanted to speak on how our childhood traumas affect us as adults, as people, as, you know. Yeah, I just want to speak on something that happened to me. You have to be self-aware with these things. Yeah, just be aware of yourself emotionally, mentally, psychologically, your triggers, and you have to be aware of why you do things the way you do them, why you react to certain things. So this is a video about when I was, I don't want to say almost raped, because I don't really know, like that day still is very, I'm just like, you know, I don't want to say almost raped, but it was my first sexual encounter without me knowing. So I don't know if I've said this, but I've lived in Ekurhuleni as a child. So when I was in grade R, we were living in Kanan. My parents were still looking for a house, and we had a family member who had a big ass house, so we went and lived there during that time. That was like 2 years of my life, I think, grade R and grade 1. No, that was 1 year, grade R. So we were there, and there was a popular tuck shop, you know, there always is in the hood. Like, us kids would always play close to it, because, you know, from time to time we wanna grab a snack. Also, there was a house that was abandoned next to the tuck shop, so we would play in that house, and we play hide and seek in that house. Kasi yards are very small, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very congested because everyone's just like squeezed together. But yeah, so it was the same situation with the tuck shop. This guy just started like opening a tuck shop in his yard, like in front of his yard, so you wouldn't have to go in. But behind the tuck shop, he was building a house, and then behind that house that was in progress, he had a turumiana type situation that he was living in. So he basically didn't have a yard, because the house that was in progress was so big. It was fence to fence, but he had a wall, so it was wall to wall. Anywho, we're playing hide and seek, you know. And then I don't know what happened, but I decided to go buy something from the tuck shop, and then I get there, and this dude's like, oh, I ran out of these specific chips or whatever, let me go back into the house, you wanna come with me? I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm a kid, and it's someone we knew, you know, and trusted. I just forgot his name. I don't even know what he looks like at this point. But yeah, so he goes back into we walk through the house that is in progress, and we're walking through the passageway, and then we get to the back of that house, and then we go, like, I stand outside, he goes into his 2-room, and he comes back with a pack of chips, and he's like, oh, see, this is the pack I thought I had, but the ones you want are not here. And then he's like, I thought they were in here, but they're not. And I was like, oh, it's cool. Come to think of it, like, a big sack of chips, like, even if it's assorted flavors, it's one brand, no? Like, let's say it's Knick Knacks, and it's that huge snack. It's gonna be Knick Knacks only. There wouldn't be any other brand. So I wanted a specific brand, and he comes with a different brand. Anywho, he comes with a different brand, and he's like, oh, I thought they were in here, but they're not. As a kid, it didn't register of like, why would that brand be inside that? You know what I'm saying? It didn't register. But I was just like, oh, cool, it's cool. And then, they're okay, cool, wait for me. We'll walk back. And then I'm waiting there. He goes back. He closes his door. He comes back. They were walking through the house. This nigga decides to pick me up. He literally picked me up and went into one of the rooms. Like I said, his house is wall to wall, so no one can see this. So he goes into this one room and he proceeds to literally tongue kiss me. Like he was making out with a child, and he picked me up and he had like my face jammed in his face, and I could feel his parts, and he was just like tongue kissing. His tongue was in my mouth, and I was just like there. I was just like frozen. I didn't know what was going on. And he was literally, he put my legs around his waist, and he was just pressing me onto his privates, and he was hard, and he was like tongue kissing me. Like he was literally properly tongue kissing a child, right? And then I was saved because my friends, like I said, we were playing hide and seek. They came running into that house. They're like, Boipelo! And they come running. Some of them are running outside. Some of them are running in the passageway. And then he put me down. And then I didn't know what just happened. So I was just like, he put me down, and then I was like, okay, cool. Then I continued and running with my friends, and we went back to that house and we played, and I was like, nothing happened. I don't know if I went back to that store, but I think I did because I did not know. Like when he put me down, I was just like, oh, okay, cool. Then I go play with my friends. I didn't even tell them. I didn't even tell my mom. I actually only realized this when I got to like grade 9, and I told a friend of mine. We were close friends at the time, and I was at school, and I just like, it just hit me like, yo, this is what happened to me, and this is what it could have been. Like, had I gone like from my house to the store without going to my friends first. But because I was playing with my friends and we're playing hide and seek, they're probably like, where did this one hide? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he would have gone as far as raping me. It's something I don't want to think about. I'm making this video because I realized that, like I said, our childhood traumas creep into our lives, you know. And I have a daughter now, and I am paranoid because of it. I have this anxiety, this killer anxiety, because that happened to me and I never told my mom. And it's not because I just didn't want to tell it, it's because I didn't know. So things could happen to our children and we would never know because they do not, like, grade R for me is too young of an age for you to be telling your child like, oh, this is what sex is and this is what, you know. But I feel like right now it's something that we need to do. If your parents won't do it, if you have siblings, do it. You know, if you have siblings, boy or girl, just do it. Have that talk. You have to be paranoid as a parent, and that's very sad. And that's what I am. I'm anxious. I'm paranoid because of my experiences. It's better to be on high alert than for it to happen. You're like, shit, and I knew it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I am right now. And I just wanna, like I said, guys, you have siblings and you have little sisters and brothers who run around, and I know we have this thing of like young kids like, go play outside, go play outside. They're annoying, I know that. You're just like, go play outside, go play outside. But I just, after realizing what had happened to me, I was just like, that's not safe. Like, that is not safe anymore for you to be like, we want our kids to play outside and be children, but at the end of the day, that is not safe for them. Yo, you can never be too safe. You can never be too safe. And now there's a line where you're just like, I need to be careful of, you don't want to suffocate your children. You don't want to cuddle them. You don't want to limit them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to protect them. Yeah, it's very sad, like I said, that we have to think this way as a community, but I feel like it's safer because it goes back to what I said, what I keep on saying. Your childhood traumas creep into your life, and they are the reason why you are you. You know what I'm saying? Even if they're not traumas, but your experiences as a child, that's a very, very important time in your life, is when you're a child, because you don't really understand things that much, but your brain like keeps those images and it keeps those experiences, and they just come out in different ways when you grow older. You know what I mean? So, you know, the reason why these people, like these rapists and these people who are messed up in the head, is because of their childhood traumas as well. So that's why I'm like, you need to be aware, be self-aware, like look into yourself. You are quarantined, you know, and you need to take this time to look into yourself and be aware of what triggers you, because people are messed up because they don't know. People are messed up because they don't know. Like for me, I will say this for myself, that experience for me made me fear sex. When I realized it, I was just like to every boy, like, do not touch me. Do not touch me. I had my first kiss at 16, and it was not a bad first kiss, you know, because I was old enough, you know, I mean, I was, you know, and the person was like 2 years older than me, or like a year older than me, so we're peers. But because of my childhood traumas, we kissed, and it was like thinking back, it was a beautiful moment. It was a nice moment. It was a nice first kiss. But I literally remember we kissed and he got hard, and I literally pushed him away, and I was like, okay, but I need to leave, and I left. Because we kissed, like that kiss and the feeling of his erection against my body, I was just like, no, I'm done, peace. Like I was just like, I'm going. After that, I broke up with him because I thought maybe I'm not ready to date. Like my mom was right, you know. Like I said, she said no when I asked to date, and I went ahead and did it anyway. But I just said my mom was right. I shouldn't have started dating and whatnot. And then I broke up with him a couple of months after, until my matric year, when I got into another relationship, and I made it clear in that relationship that, you know what, sex is out of the question, all of that. Like we can kiss, we can make out, we can, you know, we can kiss, it's fine, but sex is out of the question. And he understood that, he respected that. It got tough from time to time, but he was like, he's a real one. So he understood that. And I remember our first kiss also, because I was aware of my experience with my first kiss, I tried to ignore that fear, that feeling that feeling I got that made me run off that day of my first kiss. I got that feeling, but I tried to fight it this time, and because of that, I started shaking. Like I literally started shaking while we were kissing, and I was literally like trembling. And he was like, "What is going on?" And I was just like, "I don't know." Like I was ignoring it, and he pointed it out, like, "You are shaking. What is wrong? Like, is something wrong?" And I was just like, "I don't know, maybe I'm cold." Lies. I was not cold. I was just trying to ignore this, but then obviously it's there, and because I was ignoring it, it showed up physically. Like it's there mentally and psychologically, where you're kissing someone and that feeling is just like stop, like the feeling of you closing your eyes, and that kiss takes you back to that moment. So you're just like, your psyche is like, get off me. But because I was fighting that in my mind, it literally showed up in my body. Like I was literally shaking, I was like trembling, thinking back to those things, and I'm just like, it made me fear sex. Obviously I got over that, because then I opened up about it to him, like, oh, this is what happened to me, and I think this is why I do this. After that, things became better because obviously he reassured me of his intentions and all of that. Sharing it with a guy was very important, because I shared it with a girl before, but my thing is, it's not triggered with girls. I mean, it's triggered with a guy. So when I shared it with a guy, I was able to then open up to him, you know what I'm saying? But it's the reason why I hated boys, and it felt like everywhere I went I was sexualized. Like it I know it's a reality for all of us girls. I explained that I would dress as a guy in college because, again, like these things show up, and I would like dress as a guy just to avoid that attention that you get from men. That I'm just like, I'm not asking for that attention, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do this to prevent it from happening. It also speaks to this whole thing of victims blaming themselves and thinking, what can I do to avoid? But there's literally nothing you can do to avoid these things from happening to you. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing. Like, there's nothing. Anyway, I tried everything, but it wasn't like an active attempt. It was just how my mind would work. It just showed up in the way I would dress, and it showed up in my relationship with boys. I avoided having sex. I really did, because I felt like, you know what, I'm gonna rush into this shit, and then I'm gonna be crying, and I'm gonna regret it, and then I'm gonna resent the person. I didn't want to do that to my relationship at that time, to be like, okay, I'm gonna have sex with this person, and then also I knew I wasn't ready for sex in general. Like in general, I was like, I'm not ready. But also it's like, I'm not ready, and I'm gonna do it and then regret it, because same thing is gonna happen, and then I'm just gonna be like, I can't be with you. Like, I can't be with this person because of the resentment of, you know, that grows from the regret. But yeah, that's my story, and I just wanted to speak on this. You know, I can only imagine what a rape victim or survivor feels like, you know, because then I'm just like, I went through an almost situation, and it shows up in my life, you know? So I'm just saying this to say, please be aware of your triggers, and please watch out for your little sisters and little brothers, and just watch out, always be on high alert. That's how life is. So we need to share our struggles, and therapy is not available for everyone. Talking is healing. Like opening up and letting it out of your heart, because it chows at you, because you talk to yourself every single day, and you're just like, how? And you ask yourself questions. The things you ask yourself, if you got to ask someone else and got a different perspective, because when you're alone, maybe you judge yourself, or maybe when you're alone, you think it's your fault. When you're alone and you don't get a different perspective to speak into that voice, to give you a different view of the situation, you know what I'm saying? That can be healing, and we try to protect others more than we protect ourselves. But guys, talk about these things. So I really, really, really hope that if you have some psychological battles that you're fighting, some emotional battles that you're fighting, that you get the courage to really speak out. And sometimes you can't speak to the people we know, and that's why therapy is important, because it's easier to open up to a stranger. Like, people will tell you, oh no, I'm not gonna tell my business to a stranger. Honey, it's easier to talk to a stranger. Trust me. Like I'm saying, I'm telling this to you guys. I don't know, y'all. It's so hard to tell the people we're close to. And that's why I'm just like giving this space and this channel and this platform for whatever it is. Like, if you want to have more conversations about these things, we can have those conversations, because they are very necessary. But I really hope this video is helpful. And even if you don't tell me, and you know you're not gonna put it in my comment section, write it down somewhere and heal, you know, and come out a different person. You don't have to tell your family if you're not ready, but tell God, pray and say it. You can write it down, you know, or you can just, it still works at the end of the day. That's it from me today. Oh my God. This was a rant and a ramble and I was exposing myself right there. Anyway, if you have questions and if you have something you want to share with me, and I'm not gonna judge, guys. I'm also trying to heal in other ways that do not require this, and I'm a mom now. The number one thing is for me to heal so that I don't pass on those traumas to my child, you know what I'm saying? It's so important to be aware so that when you start doing something, you're just like, okay, Boipelo, no. Anywho, thank you guys for watching. I hope you took something out of this video, because I don't know. Editing will be interesting because I was just like here and there and there and here and here. I trust that you got it. Yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys will go on this journey with me. Like, I really do. Even if you don't do it and we don't talk about it, but do it in your own private time. It's not what you do during the people. It's about what you do behind closed doors. So I wish you healing, love, joy, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Don't forget to leave a comment.